Good morning, everyone, and welcome to First Things First. I'm Jenna Wolf. That is the Hall of Famer, Cris Carter. That is Nick Wright.
I got to try to get organized this morning.
Get organized. You do your thing. You do you.
You were dancing before the show, man.
Oh, man.
You had a lot going on. There you go. Now you're organized. Now this paper's in the exact same order, but now they've been slapped on the desk, now officially organized.
Great show for you this morning. Aaron Rodgers finally responded to the drama in Green Bay. Antonio Brown somehow, someway made things even stranger between he and Juju. But the reason we are a little bit tired this morning, only one place to start the show. The game late last night, the NCAA championship game. Texas Tech taking on Virginia. Start with less than 20 seconds to go. UVA down 3. DeAndre Hunter, the 3 in the corner to tie in overtime. Buck 15 left. Texas Tech down by 2. David Moretti gets the ball knocked. To 77 last night. Virginia is your national champion 1 year after losing to a 16 seed. See, we'll start with you. Boy, what a difference a year makes for this team, this school. What do you make of UVA's turnaround?
Well, I think that the turnaround is probably the story of the tournament, and not only the turnaround of the university, but the turnaround of the head coach. Because if you look at the lack of success, given the regular season success, ACC tournament success, being one of the elite teams we've had in college basketball the last several years, they haven't gotten paid out in the tournament. They haven't showed that. And last year, coming off the worst upset that we've ever seen, losing to a 16 seed, where this year, where they didn't win the ACC tournament. They didn't have to be a #1 seed. But the tournament, to me, it looked like they didn't hold that against them. They judged them on what their resume was, gave them what was justified to be a first seed, and they showed up this year, and man, they won the type of games that as a national champion, you're going to have to get a little luck on your side. You have to win a game where the team actually outplays you, potentially that Purdue game, and the because we know Coach Izzo, he's got that one championship, has had a multitude of other appearances, but, is Tony Bennett now going to be one of the upper echelon? Because in the coaching profession, people really respect him. But when you keep coming up short, the way Clemson used to do in football, but now, after a year later, great win for them, very, very tight game, and of course, you're going to have a call or two at the end that people are going to question.
Listen, this is... We'll get to the replay stuff later. This is an all-time great sports story. An all-time great sports story. To go from the worst loss in the history of your sport to a championship with so many of the same key players. Kyle Guy, the hero of the Final Four game and the Final Four most outstanding player, talking about having anxiety attacks and dealing with mental health issues, if you will, after the loss. The team needing a police escort after they lose to UMBC because of death threats to them. To come back a year later and win the championship, and win the championship this way. The last 3 games they played, the cumulative score at the end of regulation, 201 Virginia, 200. Their 3 opponents. Wow. In the last 3 games they played, in all 3 games, they were a 10-1 or greater underdog in the waning moments. What are the odds you win a game when you're down 2, the ball is tapped into your own backcourt with 5 seconds left?
Yes.
5%, 3%, 2%? What are the odds you win a game when you're down 4 with 8 seconds left, as was the case against Auburn? What are the chances you win? The game where they had the best chance was this one. They were only down Elite Eight Final Four championship game, the way they played. But the fact that it comes on the heels of a game that, in the UMBC game, people were saying, smart people were saying, This Virginia team can never win a title. Tony Bennett's system can never win a title. That they maybe should consider moving on from him because you have these great regular seasons and then flame out in the tournament. Those questions are now gone forever. It validates the entire program and his very unique that he got from his dad at the University of Wisconsin, that style of play.
And what does it say about the athletes who were able to come back after last year, start from scratch, and to not have an easy route to the championship game, to have to be in it until the very end where 3 to 5% chance of even beating it, but staying in each game, all 3 games, especially at the very end here to win it all. I mean, the mental tenacity of a player.
I mean, so many things you're able to learn. And the athlete being pushed mentally and physically, those are the things that you're trying to express, Jenna. Yes, that's what you want to see. Great story, as you mentioned. Not only just the university, not only a coach, but these young kids. These are not professionals. We won't critique them the same way. But, man, their ability to be able to face defeat, it's just like life. Face defeat and be, man, can I get another chance? And they got that chance and was able to take advantage of it. You talk about the nature of how close these games were. 2 overtime games, one against Purdue, who Purdue could be the national champ, and this game. In those games, Jenna, 18 for 18 from the free throw line. So when it mattered most, these kids, you talk about anxiety. Anxiety is real in sports. People in regular life think, oh, these guys, they don't get nervous like that. Hell if they don't. So them to be able to perform under that pressure when we were filling out the brackets, everyone, when you look at your bracket, no one had forgotten what Virginia did last year.
And they were down 14 to the 16 seed in this year's tournament.
Yes.
Like, it's not as if this was a team, they clearly had the cobwebs of that loss still hanging on them when this tournament started. Now, they were able to rally. They were able to handle their first round game and then have some escapes. I hate that it was marred at the end by not a bad call, but by what I consider a terrible rule. But Virginia is a deserving champion. Texas Tech would have been a deserving champion too, by the way. Like, Texas Tech did everything you could have asked them to do, and Virginia just gets the win, and it's fitting given how last year ended.
And we'll talk much more about the call you were referring to coming up and whether it did cost Texas Tech the game. But we'll take a break. On the other side, Aaron Rodgers calls reports about his relationship with Mike McCarthy a smear campaign. That's next on FS1. You can always check us out on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We're back right after this.